Today, Addie is doing what must be done. And then Jacob Barr has the shares. James is the opening prayer. Dr. Mastery is IV. The Jacob Barr is the other share. That's kind of crazy. And then Ace has the closing prayer. Record your reading and stuff. Answer your journal question.
Which is?
Check in. How am I doing with the real intent change I want to make? Yeah. Then what does that say? Invite? Does that say invite? I say like I write them. I just can't read. Okay. Invite light and camera.
Okay. I'll talk about that in a minute. Announcements.
Oh, and there's no come over here and read this. Okay. Well, there's a soccer game tonight at 6.
Good luck.
Yeah. And there's volleyball here, and it's pink out at 6:45. And there's other stuff later this week.
Full moon party Saturday. Okay, so boys are going away for soccer today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're away.
Both teams? JV and varsity? Where are you going?
South Medford. Yeah, smoke that thing.
Smoke them. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I've been meaning to talk about this thing here. I know this can be annoying. I find it quite annoying myself, but there's a purpose in it. Has anybody in here watched one of these videos to make up a lesson? Yeah. Do you find it useful? I hope. I think that's better than just giving you a few scriptures to read or something like that, because what's happening here is discussion. It's not just delivery of a lesson, and I think that you benefit from that. So, I know that it's not great to feel like there's a camera watching you all the time especially when you're talking about what you think or feel or when you're praying and stuff. But just know that the purpose of it is so that we can continue to share with each other if we're not able to be here in person. Any questions about that? Any real problems? It's kind of like a necessary evil. I don't know. I don't love it, but I think there's a purpose in it. Also, actually, I've had former seminary students who have let me know when they have a hard time, they'll check in, or they'll go find some videos and watch them from previous classes that they were in, stuff like that. So I think an archive can be useful too in some ways. Okay. All right. I didn't remind Jacob this morning, so that's my bad.
I decided we're gonna sing the first verse of "I'm a Child of God." You play it first, please.
If you need your book, you can get it out. You might have this one memorized by now, right?
True.
Heavenly Father, we're thankful that we could all come to seminary today. We're thankful that we could watch General Conference on Saturday and Sunday. and that we could listen to the prophet. Please help us to pay attention and get something out of seminary. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
The doctrinal mastery, I chose Isaiah 29:13 and 14.
Let's turn. Let's look. Mark, right along. Well, there.
Wherefore the Lord said, For as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. And I guess in the second verse, I think that means just like how we think we have things figured out, but really we don't know anything.
The wisdom of your wisdom shall perish, your understanding shall be hid. That's a great place to start. If you want to learn anything, right? You have to assume that you don't know, therefore you can learn. Some of us have a problem with that. I think we know more than we do. Thanks, Abby. I had a thought during conference as I was thinking about you and the whole rising generation of youth in the church and the time that we live in and the challenge that it is and will continue to be more and more difficult socially and politically to live the standards taught in the gospel of Jesus Christ. You guys are it. I mean, this church will go forward, but how will it go forward? It's you who's going to carry it. I mean, my parents' generation, they're not going to be around much longer. I'm not going to be here for more than a few more decades maybe. It's you guys who's carrying this, who's making it happen. Wow. And then I was like, oh, these are some pretty strong people. And we heard in conference, didn't we, that you're special, that to be here now, to be a member of the church, a youth at this time, means that you were reserved to come forth at this time. There's something about what you did or who you were before you were born that says something about why you're here now, where you are. There's no coincidence at all in it. You are where the Lord put you. And who's going to do this except you guys? You better get serious. We got to know what we're doing. You have to know the gospel. You have to know how to talk about it. You have to know how to defend it and how to share it, how to bless people with it. That's a big job. But the cool thing is, you're the ones to do it. You're the future leaders of your wards and stakes. You're not just along for the ride. You're here to carry the banner. It's a little intimidating for me as the preacher in here. Yep.
Well, it's not very long, but I had a cool experience in my strength training class yesterday. I never got the full verdict, but a kid came up to me and he knew I was Mormon or LDS or whatever you call yourself.
Whatever we are?
Yeah.
What are you?
And he wanted to talk about it with me, but Coach Lander we had to do like everything like on the dot, so we couldn't really talk, but I think we're gonna talk today about it, and which is a really cool experience for me, because that's like never happened to me before. No one coming up to you and asking like what you believe in.
Uh-huh. How does he know that you believe in something?
I actually have no clue. Just asked.
There must be something about you. He must know. There must be some reputation about Jacob Barr, right? There must be some way.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Maybe your life is like a statement of some kind. I don't know. Maybe you've said something somewhere that you didn't even know. So you're having that experience that the Elder Stevenson talked about, the guy in the elevator, in a way. Have you ever been put down or persecuted or made fun of or anything like that for what you believe?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you've had that, and now it's coming full circle, and now somebody's asking you about your religion now, like with interest. Okay, make it happen. Say a little prayer before you go in there, because there's something he needs to hear, and you want to be able to say it the right way. Cool. All right, we didn't do those the other day, so I'm going to give Jacob Michael also a chance to see if he can hit the target, okay? Because yesterday you were on doing what must be done, but we didn't let you do what must be done. We just shoot for targets.
Make it a moving target, like I was.
Well, actually, Addie, you only get one chance, okay? You get one chance, and if you don't hit it the first time, you're a huge failure, okay? You get one chance, but, let's make this hard. Come on, you don't want to fail, Addie. You don't get more chances than one. Bring it.
So
Close, but you know what? Close doesn't count. You didn't make it. Sorry, you just don't get the reward. You tried, but trying is pointless if you don't hit it. Sorry. Is that real life?
What is the reward she doesn't get?
Of hitting it
Yeah.
and feeling good? Like a success? Instead she gets to feel like a failure because she didn't get it right the first time. How many of us think that about life in some ways? You get one chance. How many of us give ourselves lots of freedom to have lots of chances to get it right? Or how many of us think, if we didn't get it right the first time, oh, I must be a failure. Let's make this happen. Addie, I want you to be a success. You can do it.
beautiful.
There you go. You got to get up and just make it happen if you have to, right? I'm 100% right up close when it's easy. Nice. But now, life is going to give you a few more challenges. It's a little bit harder now. That's okay. Oh, everybody goes, oh, there's like disappointment when we don't hit the target. What?
And it's broken.
Oh man, sometimes it seems like whatever we're aiming with is also broken. Wow. There you go. Aim higher. Aim up here. Here, I'll get there. Aim up here. Aim higher. Aim up here. Oh, there you go. Overshooting the target. There's something said for that too. Yeah. Do you think that you're getting any better with each shot? A little feedback from yourself? There you go. Awesome. Oh, and I heard somebody say, yeah. So like there's something, is everybody interested in whether or not Addie's hitting that target? It's like, it captivates our interest when we think about hitting targets. Everybody wants to know. If somebody shoots something, I don't care where you are. I don't care what room you're in. I don't care the sporting event. I don't care what it is. If somebody shoots, everybody's paying attention to see if they hit it, right? It's like it really is captivating. We all want to know. Okay. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. There. Keep them closed. Okay. Now try to hit the target. your eyes closed, bro. That's some skills.
Can't see.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why you're not hitting the target.
That was a total.
Gather these little Velcro balls for me. If they come near you. That's good. So when you can't see, you're using other senses to help you out. That's kind of interesting. Just hang on to him if you get him. He's got 3 more. That's a really, really, really good question. All right, Jacob. You're awesome, dude. You tried. You took a challenge, and now he wants to get it. Here, give me. Any others over here? There's one. I don't know if these are going to survive very much longer with these long distance.
Brother Jones, I hit it, bro.
You did it?
Yeah, when you were watching that.
Okay. What is the quick little low-hanging fruit of this kind of object lesson today? Give me something. You go. Tell me about hitting targets and eyes closed.
We have to use your different senses. Can't see.
Okay.
And also, you said that it was turned around, so I wouldn't have hit it anyway.
There's no way you could hit it. It was complete setup for failure. But you would have known that if your eyes were open. Is it possible that we might be shooting at some targets in life that we can't hit? Or that we might not be able to aim well because we don't have our eyes open, our spiritual eyes. Okay, we'll keep learning a little bit from that. Okay, so time. All right. How are we doing? I don't want to just forget about that. And here we talked for a while about real intent, about integration of heart, might, mind, and strength, all of our parts of our soul, right? Integrated, moving towards something with meaning. So, and I asked you to pick something. I asked you to choose something that you wanted to improve on. So I just want you to think about that for a second and see how you're doing. Just check in with it. Check in with yourself. Am I trying? Did I forget to? Can I remember to? What can I do to remind myself on a daily basis? Or am I seeing success? Am I moving toward my target? Just consider that for a minute. You might need to pull out your study journal or your notes, wherever you took this, and remind yourself of even what it is. And then go back to that place, wherever it is, and make yourself a little note. Maybe give yourself a ranking. I'm like B minus on this. I'm F, I'm A. There you go, grab your stuff. Thanks. So take just a second and do that. If anybody wants to share something that they've learned in the process of this, you're welcome to. Although we're not going to make it a share. Zach's not here. Tessa is not here.
I saw Tessa.
Yeah, she came in and told me she had an appointment she had to get to off campus. Which I really appreciated her letting me know. Okay, you checking in with yourself on this? How am I doing? Addie, did you add more water to the avocado?
No.
Make sure you have your scriptures out. I'm going to read some. Okay. So I heard from some of you, like, what are we supposed to do with this whole writing our psalm thing? So, and I wasn't very clear about it. I gave you an invitation and a little homework assignment, right, to write a psalm. And so I appreciated the questions about that over the weekend, because you were going to do it over the weekend and then share it on yesterday. But I was like, no, that's too soon. So I want to talk about that a little bit today, okay? I have, let's say, I can put it like this. I know for sure that helping you to tap into your own personal and internal sense of praise of God is a good thing for us to do in here. So I'm going with it. So I want you to go with it too, because I know that there's going to be something good for you in this. Okay? So just trust the process. Just go with me on this one. I know it can be a little bit, I don't know, homeworky or something, but okay. Praising God. That's what the Psalms are, right? They're praises. Originally set to music, most of them, I think, the way we understand it. There are different kinds of psalms. So I want to give you ideas here of what you can do. I do want you to create something original that is of you, of your soul, that is expresses some sense of praise toward our Father in heaven and Jesus Christ. Yes.
I have a personal example, like when I do it.
That, oh yeah, I have lots. I do. In fact, I do. And yeah, I will. Yeah, thanks for asking. I'd be happy to. I'm reluctant to, because it's not about me. It's about you. But I do have lots of those. Well, we'll get to it. I brought something to share today. So the kinds of psalms there are. Psalms of lament. I think we went through some of that. It's okay to complain to God. It's okay to take our frustrations, our worries, our fears in our raw, exposed state to God. He wants us to. Because if we don't, then it's hard for him to help us. So it's okay to have a psalm of lament or sorrow or frustration if there's something that you're struggling with. Or something you don't understand about God. You'd be mad for some reason. Like the African brother who shared when he was so broken up when his child died because of that accident, because he or his wife or both of them didn't follow a prompting. He's like, how could this happen? How could you let this happen? He was expressing some sort of a psalm of lament there. Asking and pleading. A psalm of asking and pleading, begging for help, maybe, was something. A psalm of gratitude. I think this might be perhaps one of the most common ones that we can tap into for ourselves. When I heard you guys talk about experiences, I heard you talking about feelings of gratitude. This is one of the most common, I think. Psalms of wonder and awe. You're amazed at God. You're amazed at what he's done. Or doubt and questions. Promises that you want to make to God. Commitments. Psalms of testimony. You tell God what you know. You express to him what you're sure of. That's a powerful psalm. Or just tell the gods how amazing they are and what they've done. Just sit there and tell them how great they are. Just tell them all the amazing things they've done. It's a pretty cool psalm there too. Clarity or confusion here? I hope this helps. These are some ideas. Okay, the medium through which you can express your praise. You can use words. Most of us will do that. But you can also use music if that's a gift that you have. Express, in fact, isn't music powerful for all of us in helping us tap into and express an emotion? Every single one of us resonates with music in some way. So that's powerful. Art. Some of you have the gift of being able to express yourself through artwork. That's a form of praise and of dance also. Movement. David, do you know any of the scriptures about David? Oh, he was a dancer and a musician, and he was also a shepherd and a fighter and a king and all those sorts of things. But he danced before the Lord. That's interesting. Okay. Ideas for your psalm. Maybe, in fact, you can get out your notes. This might help you like a little primer for you. So open up your study journal. And I want you to maybe jot down each of these ideas quickly or an example of them. Okay, so grab something to write with or take notes with your notes app or something where you jot things down. First example, 3 to 5 feelings about God. Describe that feeling. Give examples of when you felt them the most from your life. That's a great psalm right there. I feel this way. Well, let me talk about what that feeling is like. You don't need to write down this. I want you to write down the 3 to 5 feelings that for you experience when you are in your best spiritual state, we'll say, or not. Maybe you feel lost when it comes to God. Well, that's a feeling. Maybe like Christ, at some point you feel abandoned, or like Joseph Smith, you feel abandoned by God. That's a feeling related to God. So 3 to 5 feelings. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work on this. A simile or a metaphor that is relatable. So the most famous one, perhaps, is from David. The Lord is his what? His shepherd. Okay, for you, the Lord is your what? From your life, how can you put the Lord into a position in your life that makes it, like maybe the Lord is my coach? What does that mean? The Lord is my co-pilot. The Lord is my conductor. Yeah. The Lord is my trainer. Retell an experience to God that involved him in some way. Maybe the most powerful experience you've had with God so far in your life. Maybe you could just tell God the story of that experience. Another one, describe an attribute of Jesus. When you think of Jesus, he is what? He is loving. He is powerful. He is forgiving. When you think of an attribute, and then you could use the first letter of each of those to spell, as you describe that attribute, like you could say Jesus is kind, right? So then you would write a sentence for each one of those things. This follows like a psalm format because they're poems. If we read them in the Hebrew, they follow these kinds of interesting kind of structures. So you could, Jesus is kind, and then you write about how he's kind using those letters. Make sense? You following me here as an example? Okay. And if you want to, and you don't need to, you can use poetic rhyme, rhythm, or structure to what you want to express if you're using words. Okay. Remember, it isn't just about living a religion, it's about having a relationship. Let's not live our religion from the outside in, as far as behaviors go, checking boxes, doing things. Let's focus more on the relationship. And that's why I have over there on that under second period, how's your relationship with Jesus? Forget all of the rules, forget all of the expectations, forget all of the behaviors, and just think about the relationship. Because that's what's going to keep you coming back to his church, his gospel, his sacrament table, his temple, is the relationship you have. Now is the time to build that relationship. Especially when life is not as hard as it is going to get. You're going to need that relationship going forward in life. Amina, you asked me. So I do have lots of Psalms I've written. There was a time in my, well, actually, I think starting in late in high school, when I started to feel, I don't know, an interest in worship, my own personal sense of my relationship and worship with God. And on my mission, I went through a time when I couldn't stop writing praise poetry. It was just flowing out of me in my journals. It was really interesting how that happened. I didn't really seek for it, but it was coming out. So this is something that I made. It's not great. I'm not a great artist. I've hardly done any art really in my life. But I was interested in the Native American connection to nature, and nature is God, and their own version and worship of God in nature. So I wanted to capture an old man who was in the act of praising, because I somehow resonated with this. I loved that. I don't know why. So I just wanted to make it. So this for me is like a little psalm. It's a little praise. It's an exploration of faith in God. So I just brought that to share, because that you could do something like that if you're artistic, if you want to. I'm not artistic, but this is like one of 2 or 3 things I've ever made. But I kind of like it. It's it's not great, but it means something to me. So I want to give you when we share these, because we will share them with each other. In, I don't know when. I want to study the Psalm of David a bit while you're having time to create your psalm. So I'll give you a little while, like a few days to do that. Maybe we can shoot for, like give you the weekend, and on Monday we can come back and give you enough time. And give me enough time too. In conference, I wrote a couple of psalms, actually, over the weekend myself. I'm going to play a couple of pieces of music one way I like to express my feelings of worship is through music. I'm not a great musician. I'm not a great composer. But the feeling I get from some of the music that comes out of me helps me tap into my connection with God, because God is a creator. So when I'm creating, I somehow feel close to God when I'm creating something original. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about this. I want to have your journals out for the next, 4 or 5 minutes. And I want you to think about this. Get a little head start on your creation of your psalm. Use some of these ideas. And I'm going to just play a little bit of music. It inspires me. It won't inspire you, I'm sure. But, and so make some notes. Kind of think about what you want to do. You do these exercises here. 3 to 5 feelings. Think of examples when you felt those. Some kind of simile or metaphor. An experience you've had that involved God. An attribute of Jesus that means something to you. Okay? And then we'll have a closing prayer from, what was it? Oh, Chase.
Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day. We're thankful that we got to in the seminary today and learn about the gospel, and please us that we can have a good rest of the day and that we can not be distracted by worldly things, and please us that we can be kind to others and look for eternity in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.